Hey, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Navigating Now virtual roundtable series. I am Anthony Ewing, founder and CEO here at Thoughtium, and I am happy to be back at the table today. The Navigating Now virtual roundtable series was designed specifically for us to help you all by bringing leaders to the table, speaking to the forefront most topics in what matters most in business, in community, and in designing and delivering great experiences for your clients and for your colleagues. And today is a bit of a special episode that we've peppered into the series throughout 2022, where we've really given you an inside look at our team here at Thoughtium. Some of the great people that make up the Thoughtium team, the incredibly diverse backgrounds that our team really holds, the practitionership that each of our teammates have, and how they bring them to our unique client work. And so we hope this is an opportunity for you all to, again, get to know the team and maybe learn a little bit as we unpack some of today's foremost topics. So with that, I am going to introduce our guest today, and this is episode 113. We're so excited to go live every week, and we want to thank particularly our LinkedIn and YouTube community. Today on the show, we have Michael Nordstrom. He is the director here at Thoughtium. Michael is a bit of a jack of all trades. He's a designer of experiences. He's an incredible facilitator. He also heads up a lot of our business development efforts. And more than anything, he stands at the center of our great team of consultants and really enables and empowers folks to do their best work. And we're just so fortunate to have Michael on the team. And Michael, welcome to the roundtable. We're going to bring you in here to say hello.
Hello. Excited to be here today, Anthony.
Yeah, we were talking just before the show. I said, geez, you've been here for less than a year, and you've been on the show probably 4 or 5 times already. And, that's part of the employee experience here at Thoughtium is, you get this wonderful opportunity to, share who you are and your perspective. And you've done such a wonderful job of that, both to our team and also our community. So why don't you tell the world a little bit about yourself?
Awesome. Hey, everyone. My name is Michael Nordstrom. As Anthony mentioned, I'm a director at Thoughtium. So a little bit about me. In my work at Thoughtium, I really focus on helping organizations cascade strategy and enable workforce capabilities through building and crafting really awesome experiences for our clients. It's work that I'm very passionate about. I'd say, I think freedom and creativity are probably 2 of my biggest values, and I get to kind of live them every day in and out of work, which I'm really happy about. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, again, being a part of a small, startup consulting firm, I know that you've got experience in organizations that much larger and other startups. I'm curious, what are some of the things that you've really enjoyed about the smaller, startup environment? And also, maybe what's a challenge or two that you've had to really grow into or navigate?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I will start by sharing a wonderful analogy that everyone at Thoughtium has probably heard 1,000 times at this point. And it's that, joining Thoughtium is like getting off of a cruise ship and stepping into a speedboat. So, you get to really feel the waves a lot more, but it's also way more fun. And I think that is a really great way of looking at and thinking about the work that we do here. So, at Thoughtium, I love getting to just do a little bit of everything. I get to work in business development. I get to facilitate, work with clients, develop a wide variety of experiences, which I absolutely love. So it's never boring. At the same time, juggling many different things is a skill that I'm continuing to develop.
Yeah, we so appreciate your ability to navigate. I've always heard the speedboat analogy that's come from a handful of folks from within our team, but I hadn't heard the first part of it where it's like stepping off of a cruise ship, which even myself coming from a larger organization uh, and then spending some time in the startup space and starting Thoughtium 6 years ago, I think that is the absolute perfect analogy. But it's almost like once you're on the speedboat, stepping back on the mothership would almost feel like you're moving at a snail's pace.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love about, the type of work that we do. Speaking of the type of work that we do, I'm curious, Michael, because you and I have worked on some pretty interesting projects just here over the course of the last couple months. As we're heading into the end of the year, we are sensing some absolute trends in the type of experiences our clients want to bring to their team and their employees. And we've been having a lot of discussions about those. And I thought we would just take a minute and maybe share some insights with our community in terms of, what are we designing for today? When we talk about, Thoughtium is a design-led organization. And at the end of the day, we design and deliver great experiences. Tell us a little bit about some of the experiences that you're designing for, and maybe more so, what are some of the themes in terms of what our clients are really looking for?
Awesome. So I'll start actually by sharing kind of what we're noticing, and then get a little more granular on what we're doing. But I think this has always held true, this idea that people respond better to experiences rather than, sitting in a room, listening to a presentation, and, doing an activity. And I think this is kind of becoming even more important as we step into these new way of working, where a lot of workforces are more dispersed. People come into the office for experiences every now and then. And that makes that time that you have, with your learners, with your employees, just that much more important. And so with that, coupling that with the economic times that we're going through, the fact that companies are really changing and adapting their culture and whatnot, we're finding a lot of programming requests around building experiences to help people, navigate tough changes, learn the skills of storytelling, facilitate cultural exchanges, and just, celebrate being together and the hard work that people have done over the past few years.
Yeah, it's almost like we're almost hearing very directly from our clients that they're looking for some of the key ingredients that maybe, we as experience designers have always been harping on. But maybe we're a second or third priority to our clients, especially, commercial driven organizations, sales driven organizations. We work with a lot of sales organizations and commercial orgs. These are groups that are truly focused on the success of the organization. At the end of the day, they are focused on ensuring the bottom line. But today, more than ever, there's these almost required ingredients that are starting to bubble up: the support and continuity of teams and culture, the non-ignorance of change and what has changed, and more so the preservation of what makes the company unique. And when I say preservation, I mean on the other side of that is, just this risk that maybe organizations are starting to see after 2-3 years of being separated, of losing the heart of the team, by way of how dispersed the organization has become, or how virtual the organization has become. And that has actually pulled us back into the face-to-face in ways that we are so excited about. And I know, Michael, you've been designing specifically for face-to-face experiences, whether they be half-day workshops or multi-day meetings. We've been so pumped to be back in this space to kind of rip ourselves from the Zoom screen and actually get in the center of all of our clients. And what has excited you about being back face-to-face or designing for the face-to-face experience?
I think it's just way more fun, both for me as the person designing and facilitating the experience, but also for the learners. I think a lot of teams have their own unique DNA, and being able to create an experience in person that matches that unique DNA is so much more fun and so much more impactful. And just the versatility also in what we can do in person, as great as virtual facilitation is, being able to get into an in-person environment, the possibilities of how you can curate that experience are much more vast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really challenging us in some unique ways, and I think in some very pleasant ways. And I'll get real specific with one or two that we've seen maybe some shifts. And I know, Michael, you and I have had these conversations. First and foremost, the reliance on slides as visual aids in any type of learning and development realm has decreased drastically.
Yes.
And I think that's because we've been so heavily reliant on static information and content, mainly on slides, as we've had to deliver and consume from a computer screen. When people come face to face, they want to tear themselves from the PowerPoint slides. They want to take the rows of chairs and desks and pull them apart. And they want people truly, truly connecting and collaborating in unique ways. And that makes it really, really fun for us.
Absolutely. I'll even add, I facilitated an experience 2 days ago, a 5-hour experience for a venture capital fund. We maybe used 13 slides for that entire thing. And it was just a slide for an agenda, a slide for like an activity. So they had some instructions, but just, removing slides, you actually are able to spend more time focusing on connection and spending more time in those like informal but very important and real conversations that people need to have. So
sure. I'd also offer maybe a second, more specific shift that we've seen as organizations have come back more face to face. Is there's a real need for not only connection but collaboration in face to face. And that has, I think, really blurred kind of the vertical silos within organizations. So, when we have large organizations that want to come together, we really are challenging our clients to mix people up and mix things up and put people in breakout rooms and in learning experiences and along pathways and in cohorts that they have either never met before or maybe that they've never seen face to face. And that's made a little bit of the just the dynamics a little bit different in face to face, and that the default is not that you're sitting with your team or you're problem solving within your function. The default is more so, we're going to leverage this time to really make connections across the organizations in ways that we're not doing in a virtual world on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. It's incredible also just in terms of finding ways to foster connection with our learners, just the levers that we have, right? Like the lever in choosing the location, pulling people, off site, getting them away from what they're used to. The way you arrange tables and chairs in an area changes the dynamic of conversations and the way people interact. And also, and this is what I really love about being able to do things, in person, is our ability to include like physical installations, like table maps and interactive murals, all these different types of media forums and ways we can actually have people connecting and engaging with different, learning modalities is pretty cool.
Sure. Yeah. So I said I would limit us to 2, but I'm going to go on to a third one, and then we're going to bring it back to you, Michael. But you've got me also thinking about another big trend that we've seen, and that is around recognition and celebration, and how we are collectively realizing that over the last few years, virtual recognition and celebration is not the same as what can be accomplished face to face, or even with physical assets that provide that recognition or some sort of celebration of success. And so we've had a lot of fun bringing more organic and authentic recognition, less digital kudos or thumbs up emojis, a lot more handwritten notes, a lot more verbal recognition in front of the team, a lot more small breakouts that are sharing stories of the past and the present and the future. And I think that's been very healthy, at least for us, to have to think through that lens of interpersonal gratitude as opposed to digital gratitude.
Absolutely. And also I will say, like, we're seeing that come true, particularly Anthony and I are working on one client project together. And I really love it because it's a pharmaceutical company that has just undergone an insane amount of change over the last few years. A lot of the change was quite tough for them. And so we identified through the discovery process, this team is really in need of recognition and opportunity to like celebrate as a team, to be together, and also understand, where is the team headed going into 2023 amidst all of these changes that have been, tough to navigate. And so that gave us such a cool opportunity to build an in-person experience that leverages everything from videos to facilitating from the center of the room to using very, very few slides, bringing various leaders in to share different perspectives, having handwritten notes for all of the participants, and getting really creative with recognition and doing a sort of recognition mural that participants are going to interact with physically over the course of the day and sort of build that mural out. So it's so cool also, just the possibility to recognize your employees in a physical environment just so far exceeds those virtual happy hours that we started at the beginning.
It's so great. We're going back to basics. We're going back to what matters most. And that feels really good, especially as at the forefront of the design of these experiences. So the other thing that this does, Michael, is that it allows, you as a facilitator and as a leader to be more in front of these experiences and less behind a computer screen. So in the spirit of getting to know you a little bit better, tell us a little bit about the maybe style that you bring to facilitating these experiences. Because I've seen you in action, and it is unique, and the best facilitators bring a lot of who they truly are to the forefront of the way that they lead. Tell us, what is your style, or maybe what are some of the key, ingredients that makes the magic of Michael Nordstrom facilitation?
Oh, I've never been asked this question before. I think the first thing is just positivity, right? If you're not enthusiastic about what people are learning about, then you can't expect anyone else to greet the content you're sharing or the activity you're facilitating. You're not going to get that buy-in. So I think positivity is big, but also like realness and authenticity. If you don't like what you're facilitating, people can see through a facade and will know not to believe it. So I'd say like being authentic. I love to throw humor in. I've been known to throw several GIFs into some participations or facilitations, and music. I throw my music in when people are doing various things to kind of keep the mood up. So a lot of different levers I like to pull. And I will say the last thing is I keep it moving. You might be doing one activity here, but then we're going to go switch it up and do something different. And it's really going to place the onus on everyone to participate and to really be, an active participant in the experience.
Yeah. Now, Michael, you could have fooled me, because you're definitely. I could never have pegged you as someone who would bring a lot of personality to your facilitation skills and style. But this is just a picture. I'm just going to throw it up here a little haphazardly, but this is a wonderful picture of you and another director here, Rachel Guile, who are leading our own team in a bit of a design sprint. And this is just a wonderful way that, again, you've brought your own kind of style and personality to the facilitation that we just so appreciate on a day-to-day basis, and I know our clients do as well too. So we appreciate you and everything that you bring to our work here at Thoughtium. Let's maybe end with a bit of a lightning round, as we always do with our guests. Are you ready?
I don't know. Yes.
I told you before the show that I don't even know the questions that I'm going to ask during this lightning round. So it's going to be completely extemporaneous and off the cuff. But I know you have such creative confidence that you're ready for it. So, Michael, when you are, at home and you're sitting at your desk, and I know that you've probably got a decent window somewhere around you, and you're looking outside and you're gazing in the middle of the day, taking a break from work, what's going through your mind? What are you thinking about?
Ooh. Usually just how I need to get outside as soon as I can. I spend a lot of time in Mexico City, and so I have a bunch of trees outside my window. It's usually quite sunny. So that makes me think about getting outside, and also where can I go work remote next?
Yes. So tell us a little about that. What are your favorite cities, and currently which cities are you spending the majority of your time in?
Okay, that's great question.
Remember, it's a lightning round.
Barcelona, Madrid, Mexico City. I'd say those are my favorite cities. where I spend most of my time is between Mexico City and Telluride, Colorado.
Favorite part about working remotely and least favorite part?
Ooh, favorite part is just the freedom. I get to choose my environment and I love it. Least favorite part is commuting all the way back to Chicago and going through customs in the middle of the week, but it's worth it.
It is worth it. And we love seeing you here in Chicago. Okay. This will be an interesting one. You have the opportunity to design a 90-minute workshop that is served to the entire country from the President of the United States every year. What is the topic of that workshop? And how would you bring this country into that experience?
Oh, wow. I think the topic would be something around having more fun and taking ourselves less seriously. And I think it would start by having the president twerk. I don't know.
A perfect demonstration of having more fun and taking less seriously. Some presidents probably a little bit more able than others to twerk in front of the U.S. population.
As long as that's all that matters.
I love that. What are you reading, listening to? Like, what are you geeking out about today? Books, TV, personal life.
Books. I love to cook. I'm really getting into cooking. So I've got a wide variety of cookbooks. I'm really getting into this Half-Baked Harvest cookbook right now. In terms of watching, I just finished a movie on Netflix last night called The Swimmers. Highly recommend. It's about two Syrian sisters who were swimmers who escaped Syria to Germany and joined the Olympic refugee team, which is pretty awesome. Highly recommend.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It is the late 16th century. You are an artist, and you are going to dedicate the rest of your life to a single piece of art. Meaning you will spend the rest of your life working on a single piece of art. What would that piece of art be?
Probably like a really, really cool home. I think architecture is an art form.
Ooh.
That way I get to live in my art.
I love that. Have you seen the series on Apple TV? I think it's called Home.
No, I've not.
Absolutely beautiful, stunning. If you're into architecture, designing houses, it features the most unique architectural designed homes in very unique places around the world. And it's Apple, so it's just so wonderfully done in terms of the cinematography and the storyline and things of that nature. But that's a really interesting answer to that your piece of art would be a home, which I think is really cool because it's not just like a sculpture or an inanimate painting. It's something that you could actually live in.
Yeah, if I'm going to work on it my whole life, I need to maximize the utility in it. So, house it is.
That makes my granite sculpture seem extremely boring. Okay, last question, and this one's coming because it's the one we love to end on. If think of one thing that you really admire about yourself, and finish this sentence. If the world were a lot more like Michael Nordstrom, it would be blank.
Spunky.
I knew it was going to be a playful word. I knew it wasn't going to be serious. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, Michael, you bring so much fun to our team, so much spunk to our culture here at Thoughtium, and I know that the folks that you work with, both inside of Thoughtium and also our client community, are just so thrilled to have you at the forefront of what we do. So thank you so much for being a part of the team, and thank you for your time today.
Awesome. Excited to be here, and thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you again soon. All right, so we want to thank everybody for joining this episode 113 of the Navigating Now Virtual Roundtable Series. We're having so much fun bringing our team forward and sharing a bit of the personality of Thoughtium, the work that we do out in the marketplace, and what we're building here. It really is exciting. If you want to learn more, you can always visit Thoughtium.com. All of our Navigating Now episodes are at Thoughtium.com/live, and our career opportunities as well are at /careers. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We do not take you, our community, for granted. And that is why we continue to show up every week, Thursday at 3 o'clock Central. And we look forward to seeing you next week. So long.